Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to go over my June budget, which will cover my expenses, my income, as well as my net worth. And what we're looking at right now, this is a Google Docs spreadsheet, a really simple sheet. I'll leave a link below so you can see this, and if you want to copy it and put your own budget in there, feel free to do so. And what it really shows, like I said, it's going to show expenses and income here. And I think it's imperative to track your spending, because if you don't track, your money, or if you don't worry about your money, no one will. So what you want to do is you want to make sure your expenses, does not exceed your income. I know in some months that's going to be nearly impossible if you have a very high medical bill, or say your furnace, air conditioner, something like that quits on you. I know that could push you over the top, but hopefully you're not going to have things like that happen each and every month. You're going to have a gap, and that's the difference between your expenses and your income. And we'll just look at my expenses really quick, and we'll just kind of hit the higher amounts here. I don't know if you're a Costco member, you can get great prices on groceries and other things, but try walking out of Costco spending under $100. And I escaped with under $200 here. But other things like MUD, this is one of my utilities. This is my gas and water, so I really can't avoid that. And we'll take a look at some other expenses on here that are kind of higher. I have a son in college, so I help out with his expenses. I pay part of those. And we'll see here, another Costco trip there. And then here's my mortgage. What I'm doing right now is I'm adding a few $100s, and I'm actually incrementing every month by $100. And since I have a new home, the taxes haven't caught up with it yet, so it's probably going to be around that $1,700 once the the taxes are correctly assessed on the property. You see here, this was insurance paid on my own vehicle for 6 months, as well as my son's, so that was a bigger expense. And this is every 6 months. I pay it in June and December, so this one kind of hits me hard here, so it makes my June expenses a little bit higher because of that. And there really wasn't anything out of the ordinary really from a typical month, except for the insurance. There really wasn't anything else like a surprise gotcha kind of expense in there. We'll scroll down and we'll see I kept it below $5,000 for my total spending at $49.10. And let's go ahead and take a look at the income side of the equation. And I'm tracking everything from bank interest. You can see this is from a Capital One savings and checking account. Not a bad one from the savings account. It's paying 4.25%. And then some M1 savings interest. That's my taxable stock brokerage account where I do most of my videos. Concentrates on this portfolio, and I keep a little bit of cash there. It's mostly to put into the account to do some buys. You can see I have dividends paying out of that portfolio as well, with Kroger, Black Hills, Aflac, Pinnacle West. Those are quarterly payers, so those pay me every March, June, September, and December. You can see here's my emergency fund. This paid me interest. This is at 4.75%. And I also do surveys, and it seems like I'm getting probably about between $60 and $75 every month just for doing surveys. I'll leave a link below to Swag Bucks. It's what you can do is you can just do surveys while you're just browsing online or listening to YouTube videos, and that's what I do. Is I'm kind of multitasking, listening to things that interest me on YouTube, maybe reading the news, and also doing the surveys in between. So I don't have to leave the house. So it's nice to get kind of these little paychecks here. So here's another dividend, and Facebook Marketplace. I sold something online, and didn't have to leave the house. Someone came and picked it up, so an extra $100 went to my account. Here's another couple more dividends here. Here's my net paycheck. That's net of taxes, 401k, and I paid twice per month, so that's one of those. Here's some more dividends rolling in. A lot of these are household names, like Microsoft, Prudential, Home Depot. Again, all these dividends, these are going to be paying me each quarter. I do have a couple monthly payers in here, and one of those is realty income, and I'll get to the other monthly payer here as I scroll down. You can see all these different income sources that I have through dividends, surveys, and my job. I'm hoping to have the dividends and the other stuff kind of replace this W-2 income. That's why I'm tracking all this stuff too. As well, my expenses are very important, but also my income is very important as well. And here's a dividend that paid me outside of the videos that I do for my M1 account. I have a Vanguard account, and this was international total stock market index that paid me, and this pays me quarterly as well. Here's my second paycheck rolling in. Here's more surveys, whole bunch more dividends. This is a monthly payer here, almost up to the $500 mark for this BlackRock Science and Technology Trust. And then here's Travelers, more dividends and Pepsi. So total, we're going to take a look at the expenses under $5,000, but this is my income, and it's not including my IRA dividends or 401k dividends. This is like taxable income that I have access to right now. So you can see what there's a gap there. So between the 7169 I made and the 4910. And I started categorizing everything too by the type. And we can see, of course, W-2 is making me the most money for my income. You can see the dividends for the month, interest, surveys, Facebook, no YouTube income this month. I don't make enough of this channel to receive the threshold's $100 at YouTube. So I don't make $100 each and every month. It'd be nice to, but I really don't do these videos for the money. It's more to kind of chronicle my journey building up my dividend portfolio, and to kind of maybe teach a little bit about personal finance as well. You can see here was the W-2 gap, and I don't think that's not including the dividends. And here's the gap showing everything. This is the gap between the expenses and my income. So my cash went up by $22.59 for the month, counting everything else in there. So if I didn't count anything, if I didn't have the dividends or didn't sell anything on Facebook Marketplace, then that's what the gap would be instead. It'd be the 668. Here's a nice little pie graph kind of showing what I'm spending my money on, visual. You can see housing is the majority of it, and of course insurance took a big bite out, and of course that's every 6 months, and then it'll be going down once my son starts paying his own insurance in a couple years. You see grocery, miscellaneous, that's his expenses in there too, and also some expensive pet food in there for a dog. You see that kind of hits me there as well. But I do have everyone can probably cut some things out of the budget, but you can see with the gap that I have, I'm doing pretty good. I'm not trying to cut to the bone right now. So we see that. And to close out this video, well, actually, let's go over here real quick and just kind of, this box here, kind of showing you maybe some, tricks or things that I do. And, I don't have credit card balance that I leave outstanding. I use a cashback credit card that's at 2%, so I'm kind of getting everything at a 2% discount that I can put on the card. Of course, I'm not spending anything more than I would than if I was using cash, but I'm getting that extra 2%, and I pay off the balance every single month, so I'm not paying interest to that credit card. And I use prepaid wireless. I use Mint Mobile. I'll leave a link below. You can use my affiliate link for that, and it's super cheap. I pay it once a year in December, and it's under $200. And they say it's $180, but there's some taxes and fees in there, and it's still under $200. And Mint works for me. I check your local market, but I live in the Midwest, and it works great for me. And here's the total number of surveys. $75 just extra for really no extra work. Like I said, I'm just kind of just on YouTube and kind of just doing other things in the background. And then here's the dividends paid me. I mean, cash just showing up into my account for doing absolutely nothing. just $1,076 just showed up. And what I'm doing is I'm reinvesting those dividends back into those companies, so these dividends just keep going up and up. And also to add to that, and what compounds it is these companies are raising their dividends each and every year as well. So I'm getting more and more dividends, reinvesting the dividends as well as dividend raises. And here is just from holding money in a savings account, I'm getting paid money, $339 for this month. And just kind of show you my situation. I have a paid off car. I have no student loans or credit card debt. My only debt is a mortgage that I hold. And I'm, I think in probably 2 years I'd like to have that paid off. We'll see where that comes from. I do have some money in a Vanguard taxable account I could use and just, pay it off and be done with it if I wanted to, but we'll see. And to close this out, I'm going to go over my net worth, and I track this as well. I think it's really important to show progress, and sometimes your net worth can go down, but in this month it happened to go up. And here's the breakdown of my net worth. At Vanguard, I have $436,700 over there. I have an IRA there. I have a Roth IRA, and I have a taxable account. That's the combined amount at the end of June, round to the nearest $100. Here's M1. I have an IRA there as well. Pretty much this is like 25 years of employment just rolled over there. T-Row, this is my current employer, and this is my 401k. This is my emergency fund. I like to keep like over a year's worth of expenses. You just never know what can happen. I work in an industry that's prone to have layoffs, and for whatever miracle, I've never been laid off, and maybe I just, I have good work ethic, whatever it may be. It hasn't happened yet, knock on wood, but I've seen so many other people lose their job, and that's why I keep a pretty large emergency fund in case that happens. I'm not going to panic. And here's Capital One. This is more short-term money, going out the door for expenses. Probably, a few months expenses at least. You can see average, below 5,000. This is over 2 months expenses just there. And then I have my M1 taxable brokerage account, and that's what I do most of my videos about. That's the balance of that right here, and that's where a lot of these dividends are coming out of that. So this portfolio is just spitting out income all the time, as well as part of the Vanguard balance here that's taxable is also spitting out money, and that was one of them from the Vanguard, the VX US. This is total stock market index. And then let's see here, M1 savings. I'm just really using that to just kind of move money into the account, and I do 2 buys per week, $100 each. So I'm putting in $200 per week into my M1 taxable brokerage account, as well as reinvesting those dividends. And here is my home equity. Is right about $125,000. So total net worth for me is 1.633, and I've been tracking the change from just month to month. So my net worth went up by $35,900 in the last month, and then the change. Here's a stark change from just 1 year ago, from June 2023. My net worth has gone up $276,500, and that's not because of of a high-paying career or anything else. It's all this. It's all of my investments just going up in the year. I don't make a whole lot of money. I'm not a super high earner. This is just appreciation of my assets, and most of what I own is in the stock market, and that you can see right there is huge, $276,500 in just 1 year. But take a look at 2 years, as we have had stock market growth in the past 2 years. Again, this is not from winning the lottery or anything like that, or a huge thing. It's just month after month of having a gap. There's been a few months in there in the past 2 years where I haven't had a gap between my expenses and my W-2 income, or I didn't have a W-2 gap. But I've always had a gap when you count up my dividends and surveys and things like that, or Facebook or YouTube. When you add in all that, I've had a gap each and every month. And, not a huge one. We're not talking, I've never had like a $10,000 month or anything like that. But look at over 2 years, over $600,800 over 2 years. I've increased my net worth, and again, that's really just from the stock market on an upward trajectory. And of course, there has been recent months. We'll go back. I'll show you like May. Let's see what the gain was there. And we're going to look for the last loss. In this case, there was an increase of 56,000 from April. We'll see if there was, here we go. So you can see a change from March to April. So I went down 51,700. So I do have down months. But since I've been tracking this, I haven't had down years. But that is very possible. The stock market has 20-30% declines all the time. So as I keep tracking this, there are going to be instances where my net worth does go down for a 1 year or maybe even a 2 year period. And that will not surprise me, nor will it scare me. It's part of the cycle. But we've had a really good cycle here in the past 2 years, at least if you own a lot of stock. So this is what I want to show you. Again, I know that a lot of people don't watch these videos because a lot of people are looking at, well, what should I invest in, and how do I get rich and things like that. But you really need to start here. You need to track your expenses, and it is way more important, I think, than my stock videos where I'm just kind of chronicling of what I'm doing with my journey. Of course, though, I think it's important to track that too, but I think this is even more important, even though it's less popular. But I'll keep doing these videos. So thanks for sticking to the end of this video. If you got value from this video, please click the like button. Also subscribe, because I do other videos. Like I mentioned in this video, I do stock buys twice a week. And the first part of the week, I let M1 do the picking when I put a $100 deposit in. And then the second part of the week, like tomorrow, I'm going to put another $100 in, but I pick 5 companies to put $20 into each of those. And I do other videos as well, just kind of maybe any big payments I get from some of my investments, just to kind of track that and let you guys know. But thanks again for sticking to the end. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Everyone take care.